Hey everybody, it's Gaz here from AO Trading. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, buy a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime? Well, that's really an underlying philosophy that we have at AO Trading. Yes, we'll have these awesome traders who give you exact entries and exits, take profits and stop losses, and that's great. If you've time to sit there all day, take these trades, then you really can't lose. However, we want more than that from our guys. We want more than that from our members. What we want from our members is to make them fully fledged traders that have their own confidence to take their own trades and to make their own profit 24/7, 365. So look, with that in mind, we developed a whole range of alerts, two of which I'm going to go through with you today. I'm going to show you how I use them and how I find them very effective. And this is from somebody who personally is, I don't have a background in trading. I don't have any real technical abilities. Many would say I don't have any abilities at all, but I still succeed. I still make money regularly, and this is how I do it. This is certainly one of the ways I do it. So look, let's have a look at the two that I'm talking about here. They are the scalp reversal alerts, which are here. So the scalp reversal alerts are basically they highlight high volatility spikes with either exhaustion or potential continuation. And what I look for with these are initially an RSI of 70 or above or 30 or below to decide whether they are potential for shorting or longing. I will then skip across to the MEXC alerts, which give a lot more detail. They'll give you the momentum, the money flow, volume, the order book, and the history of the coin. So here's one that I really like, which is Sky AI. I'm always wary of something that has AI in the name. However, let's have a look at it. So I will then go to Trading View, and I'll have a look. There's the RSI. You can see it here. And what I'll do is I'll go to this is a very simple high of day, low of day indicator that I have that James, one of our members and friends, is involved with. So what I'll do is I'll go to the 5 minute, and I will be looking for a supply zone. Okay, so what I'll see is we've got the high of day supply here, but there's supply above here, and a big supply zone up here. So I'll then go to the 45 minute, and I've got a similar kind of zone here. So this looks a really good zone for reversal, but in the meantime, I could be potentially longing this token. So what I would probably do is I would jump into a long because it seems to have quite a lot of momentum here. I would pick a zone, and once it gets to the supply, then I would short. So I'd be shorting at 35, and I would be longing until that point. Now, if I want further analysis and further confirmation, I'd go to the 4 hour. And again, you see that zone here, 34,295. So I go straight on the MEXC, 34,295, and I'll go short pretty heavily. Now, there's a couple of caveats here, one of which is go on to X, which is a thing a lot of people don't do, but it's a really valuable source of information for crypto. You know, there could be some news on the coin, there could be some potential insider trading on it because this is crypto after all. So it's always useful to jump on here and see if there's anything unusual happening with the coin that might preclude you from shorting it, because it might then just blast through a zone and then you can get ruined. But look, I'm comfortable with this, so I'm going to go into a long here and a short here. Now, the only other thing I would be looking at is the funding rate. Now, for any of you that don't know what a negative funding rate is, it's basically a situation where the shorts pay the longs, and what you can potentially find if you've got a negative funding rate, for me it's anything over negative 0.3 or 0.4, then you get a short squeeze, and the coin or the token doesn't necessarily behave the way it should do, irrespective of what the RSI stroke money flow is. But in this instance, I've checked the funding rate, which you can actually use. This is a really good tool, CoinGlass. So not only does CoinGlass give you a heat map, but it also gives you, the heat map basically is your RSI heat map, which shows overbought and oversold tokens. which is really useful. But what I want it for here, apologies, my Bali internet is rather slow, is I'll go to the funding rate, and then I'll scroll down. Then I'll go to MEXC. I'll click it. And it'll show all the coins that have a negative funding rate currently. Now, Sky AI isn't one of those. It's a fairly neutral funding rate, so I'm good to go here. So as I say, I'm going to long here, and I'm going to short here. Because that's been confirmed across 3 different time stamps, so your 5 minute, your 45 minute and your 4 hour, which are the 3 I use, then away I'll go on that. Now, I sit and do that all day because I'm 7-8 hours ahead of the UK. I missed a lot of the London and New York sessions, so I missed a lot of the guys' trades. So these scalp reversals and MEXC alerts are really invaluable. Now, the last thing I'll say about these alerts is that Andre is now developing AO score, and he's going to develop a whole new channel which will essentially, once it hits a score of 90 or above, it will flag it up, and that's a real opportunity to jump in because that shows you that it's massively overbought and it's ready for a reversal. So look, just bear that in mind, but if you have any questions, feel free to jump into our chat or open a support token, and our guys will walk you through that.